The parabolic crypto bull market has officially started after Donald Trump took over the presidency just 2 days ago, which means there is going to be a lot of money-making opportunities, which is what this video is designed to do, is to show you, after a Trump victory, what can we expect from certain projects and which ones have the most potential. Make sure to like the video and let's get started. The first one that I'm going to talk about, which is actually up over 10% today, is Cardano. Now I'm going to have Cardano. I got 3 other ones. I got a surprise one at the end that's not traditional, but could potentially make you a lot of money. Now, Cardano. Why do I say Cardano? I'm going to explain to you exactly why. First of all, very undervalued. Last cycle all-time high, over $3 for Cardano. Currently sitting at sub 40 cents. It did get up to around that 75-cent level back in February, March of this year. We believe it's going to explode past that, and there's going to be 2 reasons. One is going to be what they do in Latin America. But number 2, more recently, is essentially becoming a bridge to a $1.3 trillion asset, and that is none other than BTC. Here is the BOS founder talking about what is the importance of this and for Cardano.
Cardano has spent so much time building towards a world where governments, financial institutions, non-profits can take advantage of their technology. But what is the main asset they want to be using? It's Bitcoin. Well, now we can marry those 2 things together. Bitcoin itself cannot scale to 200 million African users. But with Cardano, you can actually have all of them trustlessly holding Bitcoin for the first time ever. What about the ETF? What about hedge funds? What about governments that want to start putting Bitcoin into sovereign wealth funds, which we're seeing more and more of? All of these things become more possible if we marry the smart contract technology of platforms like Cardano with Bitcoin and BTC, the asset, and Bitcoin, the main chain. And that is what Bitcoin OS is designed.
So here's the interesting thing, is going into this cycle, no one talked about the Bitcoin ecosystem as a catalyst for the moving price of Cardano. It was always smart contracts. It was always nation states. It was always retail, right? Retail was a big one. We just added a sector, a vertical that a lot of people are saying is going to be absolutely massive in this bull market. And Cardano is front and center. Here's another video from the same gentleman talking about what could potentially happen to the TVL of Cardano once this thing is fully implemented.
Right now, we have sort of 2 ecosystems that I think really need each other. On the one hand, you've got Cardano, which has a TVL of about $250 million. So we have a very powerful smart contracting system in search of an asset base. And on the other side, we've got an asset base of $1.3 trillion sitting dormant, a massive asset base in search of a secure, reliable platform for smart contracts. If 1% over the next year of Bitcoin's asset base were to transition over to Cardano, that would be a 40x increase in Cardano's TVL just from that. And I think probably we'll have opportunity to talk about some of the use cases, but one of the other things which is interesting about Cardano is that it has, of the various chains out there, particularly put a focus on institutions and the developing world. Now, institutions are interested only in Bitcoin, and so they're going to need a platform to do this, and Cardano is a good candidate. But beyond that, if you think about 200, 300, 400 million people in Africa and the global south more broadly who want to hold BTC, there is literally no technical way for them to do that directly on Bitcoin mainnet. And so we need some kind of system able to provide greater scale. And there too, Cardano has been building those routes for many years.
So a 40x in TVL. Let's take a look at what has been happening with Cardano. So a couple things I want to share. One is the total fees paid on the network. This is from intotheblock.com. You can see over the last 30 days, this metric is up almost 51%. Why is this important? Total fees. You don't pay fees unless you use the network. And so meaning people are using the network over the last 90 days. That change is plus 75%. The other thing I want to talk about is the daily active addresses for Cardano, and they're starting to trend up and to the right. You look at the 7-day change, you're looking at a 38% change in daily active addresses, really across the board between new, active, and zero balance addresses. So things are moving for ADA and ADA on the chart. We put in 2 massive green-bodied candles. Sentiment has flipped, money flow has flipped, and volume has come in. Volume we haven't seen really since July of this year, where we saw the price of Cardano go from 34 cents all the way up to 46 cents. So Cardano, it's been kind of a doozy in the last bear market, right? You've seen Solana run up from $20 to $200. We've seen Avalanche run up from $10 to $60. Cardano hasn't really had a big run. That is all about to change. Throw Cardano in your 10x minimum 10x basket, potentially 20 to 25x. Now, the next coin I want to talk about, on our live show yesterday, we showed one sector really that was outperforming everyone else. And that sector was none other than decentralized finance. And you ask yourself, well, what is the most profound DeFi protocol out there? Lending, borrowing, stablecoin is none other than Aave. And you take a look at Aave currently on CoinMarketCap, up 30%, sitting at $186. You might be saying, well, if it's already up 30%, why are you saying you can make a lot of money with this? Well, we're talking about the largest DeFi protocol going into the golden age of DeFi, as the regulatory burden is going to be wiped away from these DeFi protocols as more people are joining the DeFi ecosystem. So you look at a project like Aave, excellent tokenomics. It has a stable coin that leverages the Aave token. There's benefits to holding the Aave token. On top of that, you got speculators and people that are going to be piling into this thing with a TVL of around 14.7 billion and a market cap under $3 billion. So ask yourself this question. What size of a market cap do you expect DeFi to be? For me, if we're at a $6 to $10 trillion market cap overall in the cryptocurrency space, I believe 2 to 3 trillion of that will be in the DeFi sector. This includes projects like Ethereum. This includes other DeFi related projects. And we throw Aave in there. Then you ask yourself, well, what percentage of that 2 to 3 trillion dollars will Aave garner? That is a question asked, but we believe there is so much more upside left in Aave with only 16 million tokens circulating. Actually, 15 million tokens circulating with a total supply of 16 million, less than that of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is trading at $76,000. I'm not saying Aave is going to get to $76,000, but could it get to $1,800, $2,500? Absolutely. It's got another thing going for it. Speaking of Trump, his family's venture into DeFi was via World Liberty Financial. And guess who they launched? What product they launched it on? It was on Aave. Trump's World Liberty Financial proposes launch on Aave's Ethereum mainnet. So you have the Trump factor, you have the DeFi factor. You take a look at daily active addresses for Aave. Over the last 7 days, up 116%, over 100% across the board on new, active, and zero balance addresses. People are piling into Aave. They're going to continue to pile into Aave. And we still believe at sub $200, Aave is an excellent play for this upcoming bull market. We take a look at price action. Just massive amounts of volume coming into Aave. We did have a giant liquidation here for Aave, as you can see, with the hollowed out green candle. Aave's last all-time high was right around $600. So you're still around more than a 3x away from previous all-time highs. And that was in a regulatory environment where no DeFi protocol really thought they can launch and succeed in the United States. That is all about to change, and Aave is going to be at the forefront. Do not sleep on Aave. To me, this is an easy 10 to 15x for Aave. Now, the next one I want to talk about, I got 2 in this one. So this is more of a sector one as well. Leans into DeFi, but also portraying into the future. Trump wins, Gensler is out. What is one thing that people wanted with the Ethereum ETF that they didn't get? It was none other than staking, right? And so we can assume that these ETF issuers, knowing how much money they can make on top of the fees they charge, but now taking their clients' Ethereum that they bought for the ETF, staking that, earning those rewards on top of the fees they're getting, it's going to be an absolute no-brainer. Now, who is at the forefront of liquid, non-custodial staking? There's 2 projects. One of them is Lido. Lido has seen a massive surge over the last month, going from a low of sub $1 to over $1.33, currently sitting at a $1.19 billion market cap. I believe this is a $20 billion market cap project. If staking is approved in the Ethereum ETF. So there's only 1 billion total in supply. I believe that is one play. I believe the second play, a little more risky, but potentially more upside. This could potentially bring you a 50x return. Now, I do think there will be one clear-cut winner when it comes to non-custodial liquid staking for the ETFs. It's either going to be Lido, it's going to be Rocket Pool, or it's going to be something that we don't even have in the market. I was doing some research. I found this one, Kiln Finance, who's just in the midst of their fundraising. No token yet. Will it have a token? I don't know. But at this current moment, the taping of this video, Lido and Rocket Pool are leading the way by far. You're looking at Rocket Pool with 213 million in market cap. A 50x would put it at $10 billion. $10 billion. And so that is half of what we expect from Lido. But if it can capture the upside that Lido has, and it does become the clear-cut winner for Ethereum liquid staking, could this thing get to a 100x? To that $20 billion mark, potentially, but you're essentially splitting your eggs into two separate Ethereum liquid staking baskets. So Rocket Pool and Lido are two other big plays, assuming that the regulatory clarity is going to change around Ethereum. Now, last one, right? Says 3 in the video. I've now given you 4. I'm about to give you a 5th one. The 5th one is a little non-traditional. It's not in the cryptocurrency space. So if you have a Robinhood account, a TD Ameritrade account, any sort of retirement account in traditional markets, you need to be looking at the Coinbase stock. And I'll tell you exactly why. Coinbase is the leading exchange in the United States, which is about to go from an anti-crypto country to potentially one of the most pro-crypto countries. On top of that, speaking of staking, they have their own Ethereum derivative, the staking, right? CBETH. Now, ask yourself this question. If the ETF issuers like BlackRock and the other 9 that have Coinbase as their custodian for their Ethereum for the ETF, if they decide to do liquid staking and they don't go with something like Lido or Rocket Pool, do you think they're probably going to leverage Coinbase? And although Coinbase does have a layer 2 in Base, the Base does not have a token yet. Could that change? Potentially. If that changes, then we shift from Coinbase stock to the Base token. So the Coinbase stock currently sitting at $255, showing a market cap of $64 billion. Ask yourself this question: if for a $6 to $10 trillion industry, with the US about to do a complete 180 on crypto, don't you think this is a little undervalued? I 100% agree it is. Now, if you're like, look, I don't want anything to do with traditional stocks, screw the stock market, I'm all in on crypto, fine. How about a proxy to Coinbase? How about Ethereum? How about Ethereum because bases ran on ETH and all the fees that are paid for the Base chain are paid in the Ethereum token? Every time you bridge Ethereum to Coinbase Ethereum, there's a fee that's charged there, right? It makes the Ethereum token deflationary. You look at Ethereum, extremely undervalued, not to mention if staking does get added into the Ethereum ETF, we expect massive amounts of flows to come into the Ethereum ETF, potentially rivaling that of BTC. We take a look at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. This has been in an absolute heinous downtrend really since December of 2021. So ETH has been extremely undervalued and underperforming compared to Bitcoin. This is on the daily chart. But it looks like we might have flipped as we've seen 2 consecutive large green candles. We bounced off our discount zone here from the price action concepts indicator. And so we believe this gap will close. The Ethereum Bitcoin gap will close. Even if Ethereum only reaches $10,000, $15,000, you're still looking at a 3 to 8x for the price of Ethereum, which some argue is the second safest asset you can put your money in outside of course, Bitcoin. If you like these videos, make sure to subscribe, put your notification bell on. As the market heats up, there's going to be so many different ways to make money, and we here at Sin City Crypto are going to help you along the way. Make sure to subscribe. Come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you next one.